Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am super excited to have Rebekah from Libra Light.
Hello,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing really, really good. We are quite far. What are we, 6, 7 hour difference right now?
Yes, it's pitch black outside here and it's 5 p.m. tea time in England.
Love
Is
it.
it 11, it's 11 o'clock for you there?
Yeah, 11:02. So, Rebekah, you are the one that basically helped me first, well, ever. You're the only one that's ever helped me get into my Akashic Records.
Yeah.
And also, you have an amazing webinar that we'll talk about as well, teaching people how to get into their Akashic. But I would love to talk to you. You offer so many amazing things, but I know my audience would love to hear you talk about the Akashic Records and what you do in your sessions.
Yeah, sure. So we met, didn't we? Because you won my monthly giveaway that I
Yeah.
do for people who subscribe to my mailing list. And I know you're going to put the links out there for later. So you were chosen. I remember now. I used the app and I just put the emails in, and it chose you. And I remember you emailed me and said that's so weird because I was talking to a friend the day before saying I'd love to learn more about my Akashics, and then
Yeah.
you won the
I
cos.
actually was like, is this for real? Because had literally just spoken to my friends about like, I really want to go into my Koshik. I don't know like how to do this. And then I get this email from you and I'm like,
Yeah, that's how the universe works.
and it was from
Brilliant.
we had done Steve Noble's he has those like business kind of gatherings. What does he call
Yes,
them?
Starseed Business Networking. Yeah,
Yes.
they're
And
brilliant.
your thing just caught my eye and I remember doing a screenshot of it and I checked out your website. I signed up to get your newsletters and that's how the
Yeah, and then the
universe
rest is
works.
history. Yeah. So for those watching, Steve Noble does a monthly free. They're free now. You used to have to pay, and they're free. Starseed Business Networking webinars, and they're absolutely brilliant. If you're a small business holder, you can go along. He has talks off. Um, People come along and give talks, don't they? And then you do networking, which is where Tonya, Tonya, it's Tonya, isn't it? I'm just remembering from the reading, and found out about me. Yeah, so I'm an Akashic Records practitioner, and I first got into the Akashic Records. It was actually my friend Sharon sent me a video of a woman giving somebody else a reading, the ones that I do now. She was like, "You have to watch this. These are amazing." And I watched it. It was an hour and a half, and I went, "I have got to learn how to do that." She was telling this woman that in her first incarnation she was a unicorn, all the other kind of stuff which I'll go into in a minute. So I found out who the woman was that taught it, and her name's Natasha. She's the Cosmic Empress on YouTube. You may know. Have you? Do you know who I'm on about?
I think you spoke about her one time, so I found her and then started and I subscribed to her now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She's an unbelievably amazing woman. To learn how to do that, it's actually called the Cosmic Origins course. If you go to Natasha's website, and learn how to do it from there. But Natasha, obviously, she's called the Cosmic Empress. So there's a galactic and cosmic connection with these Akashic Records readings that I do as well. So I do look into your Earth lives, but a lot of it, where I love to delve, is people's galactic heritage. Like, what are their cosmic blueprints? So you learn a lot about that in Natasha's Cosmic Origins course. She goes into detail about the Pleiadians, about the Octarians, and so that you have a good frame of reference for when you first start off. But I guess if I tell you about my experience with how I get into the Akashic Records and my guides and some of the things that I've seen up there. So the way that Natasha teaches getting up into the Akashic Records is obviously you've got an Akashic Records prayer, And then there's a process that we go through, and we use our sound bowl to get into the right vibration, because obviously the Akashic Records are in a higher dimension. And as you said, this is all in my webinar that you can purchase a recording of to watch if you want to do this yourself. And then once you're up there, it's about seeing what your Akashic Records library looks like, and then meeting the guides. So who's going to meet you at the door? Who's going to take you to your space? So who always meets me at my door is my wizard guide. And then he always walks me down the corridor. And it's funny because sometimes if I go up to the Akashic Records and I'm not feeling 100%, like I might be feeling a bit ill or I might be feeling a bit off emotionally, he will sit on the steps outside with me. And before he's made me a mint tea, and we've sat there drinking mint tea
Oh my
until
God,
I feel ready to go in. It's brilliant, yeah. And then he's like, right, you're ready to go in now. So we go in, and my space is a circular space with bookshelves all around it. And then I have much like here, I have a computer and keyboard. So I don't necessarily go and grab a book for somebody. It's actually a folder out of a filing cabinet that I grab. There's a slot in the computer and I put it in there. And then there's a crystal that goes in, looks like that. And then I type in date of birth, full name, blah, blah, blah. And then then I use my pendulum. Have I got permission? Have I got the right person? And then I've got two more guides in the records. One, everybody usually normally has a gatekeeper guide, who's the one that says, hold on, you can't go in that one. You're not allowed to see that life because it's not the right time, and he'll step forward. So everybody normally has a gatekeeper guide. And then I've got a mermaid guide, who actually turned out to be a client that I read for. So if you think about things quantumly, like we're all living these lives at the same time, aren't we?
Yeah.
So I delivered this reading to the client, and I was like, just to let you know that you are actually my mermaid guide in the Akashic Records. So that kind of blew her mind.
Yeah. And your guides are behind you, right? In your painting?
Yeah, my sister's painting that she did of my guides. The gatekeeper guide is just there. Wizard guide's there. I think the mermaid's further up. Oh yeah, up there. And then these are that's Metatron, my two Pleiadian guides, my white tiger. There is, since Abby did this painting, about 3 months ago, this whale just turned up and takes me to the lives, whether it's Earth or cosmic lives. And this has been the clearest spirit guide I've ever seen. So with me, I channel with my eyes closed. I don't really see anything with my eyes open. But as soon as I close my eyes, it's like somebody's put VR goggles on me. And literally every time I close my eyes, the whale is there. It's 24/7. If I close my eyes now, the whale would turn up. So the whale, out of all of my guides, and I've probably started my spiritual journey 2013. This whale guide is like very prominent and visually so clear. It's crazy. So yeah, visiting your Akashic Records just opens up a whole new world for you. I know you said you did the webinar. So what did you see when you went up there to your Akashic?
Even just hearing you speak there at the beginning, I was just getting like chills again about what that experience was like. You teaching how to go up into the Akashic. So when I first went, I could see, at this beautiful white temple. There was vines growing everywhere. Right away, my first guide that came was this little bunny that I saw outside at first, just kind of hopping around because at first we were just outside. And there was like this beautiful water in the background, just greenery was everywhere. And then the second time we went up and we went to the door before we went in, a green fairy came, and that's
Oh, nice.
at the door was a green fairy. So the green fairy took me through, and when I got into my room, the bunny was there again, and then a hummingbird was there. And you actually got a hummingbird. I think it was the sorry. I think it was the second time we had a session, a hummingbird.
Oh, brilliant. Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, it was just like, I mean, my room also was kind of circular. There's this great big room or window, sorry. So lots of light. It was very light looking in there, like colors. I didn't have a computer. Mine is more, you know, those like little tiny filing, like there's like the old, I forget what they're called, but they're these like cabinets, and they have those little tiny drawers, almost like you would like.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
I had those.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, I had those like all over it. They had this like spiral going upwards into this area of just full of books, just like books everywhere, plants everywhere, crystals everywhere.
Yeah.
And there was a Palladian that just stood at my door, a male Palladian.
Yeah.
That just stood at my door. He's now come to me in other meditations that I've done, that I'm like, oh, okay, this is because at first I couldn't fully see him, but I could just see that he had this long blonde hair, and he kind of like glowed. And he was in like, you know, kind of like a spacesuit kind of shirt, but I couldn't really see him. And I've since now seen him in other meditations.
I wonder if he looks like which deck of cards is it? Right, you're all going to see my pajama bottoms now, but this is how I roll, okay?
I have my pajama bottoms on too. That's the best part of YouTube, is you only have to dress.
I know. I had my jeans on earlier because I've been out to somebody with a coffee. As soon as I get in, straight into my pajamas. This is the Magical Light Dimension deck, and I always think that these two look like Pleiadians. So did your guide look like that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I've now seen in a Lily Nova Starseed. I don't know if you've heard of her. She does weekly activations to help you connect with your starseed family. And she just did one on the weekend where he came through again. Well, all of my guides came through, and my angel guides, everyone was there. And I did see like the female in that card. I saw that as well. Like someone that looked very similar to that was with him.
Brilliant.
And in one of our sessions, my lion came through with you. And my my lion comes through a lot of times now with the Palladian, the male Palladian. They'll come together at the same time.
Amazing.
Yeah. You've opened me up to like, so I mean, I would love, can you explain a little bit about like what, because I mean, the amount of stuff that you opened me up to in my session was just mind-blowing.
Yeah, because originally we were going to do the Akashic Records coaching session, weren't we? But when you came on, you said you wanted to like understand your soul mission and journey a bit more, which is more my Akashic Records full bang journey. So the first things that we look at there, the very first thing that I look at are the blocks that stop me accessing your Akashic record information. So we would have looked at, you know, like how many energetic shells you've got, soul level mirrors, percentage negative entities and percentage running programs, and then I gave you clearing homework to do, didn't I, for them? And then we had a follow-up session to check that had worked. But then, you know, the amount of information with these sessions is mind-blowing. So I always tell people at the beginning, you're going to get a recording and you're going to get a soul profile document with everything in it. So don't worry about learning it. But some of the things that I cover in there that, you know, that blow people's minds the most is when we incarnate into this life, we choose an archangel realm to work in. It's like choosing university. And usually that realm has a theme as well that resonates, and it's linked to a chakra. So the first thing I have a look at in those readings is, and it's the top 7 archangels that I look at. I know there's hundreds more, but for this, we just choose one of the top 7 that we want to work with primarily and then secondarily. So it's, if I try and remember all these, Raphael, Jophiel, Zadkiel, Chamuel, Michael, and Gabriel, and one more.
Would it be Metatron? Who you work with?
No, he's not actually in the top 7, which is a bit crazy. There's one other that will come to me in a minute. So our dials for which one you're working in primarily. For me, I'm Zadkiel and Chamuel, and they're linked to the sacral chakra and the crown chakra, which makes total sense for me. One's about creation and manifesting. And your healers in the Zadkiel realm, but it's a different type of healing. You heal with a lightning bolt in your hand. Our healing is about profound change and transformation with people. Whereas people in the Raphael realm, it's like healing with love. It's a completely different. What realms did you get? I can't remember.
It was Raphael and
Raphael.
I never know if I'm saying it. Is it Jophiel or Jof?
I say Jophiel, but I often pronounce things incorrectly. Oh, it was Uriel.
And yeah, it's, you know, it's, again, this is where you also helped open me up. So once I found that out and started really connecting with them, it really truly did change my life, being able to connect to my archangels and my angel guides. And I've now taken like an angel energy healing course that I'm working through.
Oh, wow.
Expanded my like my energy healing that I'm doing, and they're with me all the time. And yeah. Raphael was the main one, and it made so much sense because in every session that we went through too, there was always something green that came through, like green stones, green things that was always there. In this lifetime, I'm a Taurus sun, so it's the emerald green. Like there, it just makes so much, like all the connections. This is where I find, you know, going into your Akashic is just like so many more connections are being made, and I'm able to like explore different things and understand things better. And it's just, it is mind blowing the amount of like.
It is. I mean, that's just like one of you know, a tiny amount of information you get that you can get from the Akashic Records. People don't realize, they just think, I'm going to go up there and channel a past life. You can get so much more. Like Natasha, who taught me how to do this, uses the Akashic Records to ask about which crypto she should invest in. She says, show me the future timeline for this cryptocurrency, show me the future timeline for this cryptocurrency. And then she comes out the Akashic Record and invests in the right one. I'm like, wow. And then also another way of using it is going in and asked to see a planet's history. So you could go in and say, can you take me back to the Ice Age on Earth, and close your eyes and ask to be seen it, or take me back, you know, to this time on a Pleiadian planet. So it's not just about you and your lives. And the other thing that you'd probably be interested to know is people who are in the public eye. So let's take Donald Trump, because we were just talking about it. As a soul, they've agreed to be in the public eye. So they've agreed for their Akashic Records to be public. So whereas with you and other people, we have to ask permission and say, ask for your permission and put your date you do have to do the date of birth still. Somebody who's in the public eye, you have permission to go and look at their Akashic Records.
Wow.
So as long as you got Donald Trump's, and Natasha does do this in her webinars that fascinate. She's looked at Elon Musk and all of them and the royal family, and it's unbelievable. So you don't actually have to get their permission to go and look at their records as a soul. They've said, in this life I'm going to be in the public eye, which means my Akashic Records is open to the public. So that's something, you know, it's not just about channeling past lives. I don't do that in my one-to-one reading. So what else do I do other than archangel realms? I look at your psychic gifts and skills. So you may not remember in your past lives all of the things that you were able to do. So I asked the Akashic Records, what is it that you're a master in? What did you used to do? And it could be like psionics, which is using your mind and your thoughts to manipulate objects or energies. Psychic surgery. I mean, you are able to do that on this planet in this life. That's things like shamans pulling out energies from your energetic field and things like that. So we go in and have a look to remind you in this human life where we've had this veil of forgetfulness put over us. It helps you to remember what gifts and skills you've got. So we go into all of that. And then I think, you know, there's a lot of stats that I look at. So what percentage are you living in 5D? Where are you on the Hawking scale of consciousness? What's your manifesting percentage? What's your percentage of karma that you've carried through from other lives? So then there's a lot of stats that I look at. And then I think it's the second half of the reading that people love the most. This is where I go into your earth lives and your cosmic lives. So I look to see how many lives you've had on earth, because you're currently in an earth incarnational cycle as a soul. And for me, and this isn't the same for all spiritual teachers, but for me, what's coming up is we usually have around 400 lives on earth. So I've had a few come through where they're at 399. So they're on the next life's the last one before they start incarnating somewhere else in the universe. And then I say, where have you been? Where, as a soul, where did this person like incarnating most on the earth? And you know, this is where it fascinates me, because I'm like, right, there's probably somewhere on the planet that you love. Like, let's say Greece, for example. And I'll say to them, yeah, you spent 40% of your life in ancient Greece. And they'll be like, wow, I knew. I've got this affiliation with Greece. Like my last client, it was Japan. And he'd never been to Japan, but he absolutely loved everything about Japan, the people, the land. And, you know, that's where I get blown away. I'm like, wow, this information is spot on.
Yeah. That was mine, was ancient Greece. And I remember.
Oh, was it? That's why I said it.
Yeah. And I remember as soon as you said that, it's the same. Like, I've never been there, but it is a place that I've always like would love to go to. And I feel like you know, I feel like I know what parts of it look like too, even though I've never like been there. And you had gotten me at 308, which I've always known I was a very old soul. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, as you're talking about Greece, and this happened with the client who was Japan, your Greek self shows itself. So it's almost as if you morphed into a Grecian goddess as you were talking. And he morphed into this Japanese samurai as he was talking. Like, it's incredible what I say. And then the other bit people find fascinating is the cosmic blueprint. So I look at the top 3, where have they been in the universe? And that's pretty amazing. I mean, for me, it was Pleiades #1. And when you read about the Pleiadians and the personality, it totally fits in with me. And then I think I've got Arcturus and Mintaka, which is the planets where you've got the crystal clear blue water and mermaids and dolphins and all of that kind of stuff. What were your top 3?
I'm trying to remember. I feel like Venus was one of them. I have them written down. I'd have to look at them again. I don't remember.
I've got it because I keep your. Let me have a look.
I think one of them was one that I hadn't heard of before, maybe.
Oh no, for you we didn't do a document, did we? Because it was a prize. So I just fed it back to you and you took notes. So yeah, you'll have to look in your notes and then post with this video so everybody knows.
Yeah.
But that's fascinating, because often when people are told and then they go away and read about them, the personality traits totally fit them. And another thing I tell people to do is to, like, you're a planet if it's Venus. So use an app to locate where Venus is in the sky, see if you can see it and just connect with the energy. Pleiades, the constellation Seven Sisters. So I tell people, work out what star constellation links with that star race, find it in the night sky and just look up at it and start connecting. And then maybe if it is a star constellation, learn the names of the stars and see if one in particular pings. Because with me, Atlas out of the Seven Sisters pinged with me. And I know that that's where the planets around the Atlas star now, because I've done lots of channeling, is where I've spent most of my time in my Pleiadian lines. So it just gives you because sometimes for ourselves, it's difficult to channel this information for ourselves. And sometimes we just need to go to another person to help us access that information. It just gives you a good all-round knowledge and awareness of who you are as a soul. We know all about ourselves as a human selves, but like, where have we been as a soul? What are our skills? Which archangels do we work with? And especially when you're having a big spiritual awakening, it's great to find out all that information at the beginning of your journey to help you going forward. So
truly.
And I do have to say it's probably my favorite one-to-one session to give people.
It was amazing. And the work that you gave too was so, like, the daily work that I was doing, it was just, I could feel things clearing through me. Like I could feel like almost became lighter, right?
Yeah.
Doing them. And then when we did the follow-up session and you were able to check to see where things were, and I had cleared all that I needed to clear. Yeah, it's just like,
yeah, it's powerful, isn't it? That's so when I as I said, when I saw the video of the other woman giving it to another client, I was like, that is what I need to do. And the funny thing is, I work with Archangel Metatron. So I started working with him on doing my colour healing with Amanda Ellis. And I was going to go on to do level 2 in colour healing. And then he started putting me down the Akashic Records route. So I didn't do colour 2. And then I read that he is actually heavily involved in the Akashic Records. So that totally made sense that Metatron was kind of guiding me down that route, because that's where he works as well.
yeah.
So I think I was guided there by him.
For sure. And so do you want to share some of the other offerings that you have for people as well?
Yeah, so the other Akashic Records is, there's a coaching session that you can have. This is really good if you have something that you want to achieve that you've been struggling to achieve. So when I said earlier, the Akashic Records aren't just about going and channeling your past lives. So in this session, we actually take your goal. So let's say it's to leave your 3D job and start your 5D business, which literally everybody who comes to me wants to do. I think it's because I've done it. And then you come to the session with 10 action steps that you think will get you there. And then we go into the Akashic Records and we ask the Akashic Records, are these steps aligned with that goal by percentage? So then you've got, out of those 10 steps, you know which one you need to work on first. Then I ask the Akashic Records what's blocking them to get to this goal. Like, we channel a past life. And it could be, for example, you may have had a past life where you had a vow of poverty, and it's affecting you in this life because you don't think you will ever be abundant or ever make a lot of money. You think you'll just be at this level. My whole family's been at this level, and there's no way I'll ever get up there earning that amount of money. So we clear that vow of poverty out of the way. And I look at negative beliefs, which chakra they're stored in. And then I give you homework. I love to give people homework. It's just a thing. And they clear all that away in the next 3 weeks. Then they start doing their action steps in a vibration that they've chosen. And they all of a sudden find, oh, I've been able to achieve that goal now because they've used the information in their records to help them get there. So that's my coaching session. And then outside of that, I've just qualified in quantum holographic echo healing. because I wanted to be able to offer a healing session as well. So that's a talking therapy using the pendulum again. And in this session, we just ask what's ready to be healed in your subconscious. And we bring it up for healing through talking about it, but using pendulum and cards. So just literally qualified in that about 3 weeks ago. So just getting going with that. And then hopefully at the beginning of next year, I'll be qualified in my spiritual life coaching and energy psychology, which is basically all about teaching people to self-heal through tapping, through meditation, through chakra work, and through, you know, all the coaching techniques that people use. So looking forward to getting that going next year. And then you'll be pleased to know I am not learning anything else. No, I'm just going to concentrate. I'm telling myself this because I know a lot of people, when they start to have a spiritual awakening, they like just want to do course after course after course. That's exactly what I've done. And I'm having a break next year. I'm just going to work on what I've learned.
And you also do like readings, right? Tarot
readings, yeah. I've just done that. It's been my tarot reading day to day. So I've given about 4 tarot readings today. That's my old love. I learned that in 2013 and I've been doing it since then. And I still put myself a tarot reading every day as well. So yeah, I don't think I'll ever give that up. Kind of variety of things that I do, really. And webinars. So I was just going to finally tell people that I run a monthly webinar with this amazing lady called Sharon. And our last one for 2022 is 2 weeks today, actually. And we're talking about how you can use crystals with tarot to enhance any particular type of reading. So I know you're going to post the link if people want to sign up. Because it's the last one as well, we're going to make it a bit fun and have a game in there at the end where one person can win a free 30-minute tarot with me and another person can win a crystal up to the value of £10 from Sharon being posted out to them. So it's worth just signing up so that you can be in that.
And so your webinars, so the one that I had done of learning to get into the Akashic, that's still something that people can purchase even though it's already random.
All the webinars are recorded, so you can purchase all the historic ones of 2022. I'll give you the links for those to put into the. Yeah, but if it's the Akashic Records you're interested in, then yeah. And all my webinars come with a PDF. So for the Akashic Records one, you get the Akashic Records prayer and the step-by-step process for getting in.
And it's all so beautifully put together. Like I have it all printed out and I have it in a binder and it's just like,
oh wow, that's organization. I'm impressed with that.
Well, you did such a beautiful job that I'm like, okay, I have to like put this together because otherwise I don't want it to get like wrecked at all. So
oh, brilliant. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Oh, this has been so amazing. I know that so many people are just gonna be so excited to hear about this because I know a lot of people are really interested in the Akashic. And I mean, like you said, you do so much more than just take people into a past life.
That's why I call it the full bang reading, because it's everything. So if you want detail, then this is the reading for you. If you want and you want a document so that you can keep looking back at it over the years, and you want to keep that information, then this is definitely the reading for you.
Yeah, I highly, highly encourage it because I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but you blew me away with how in depth we went into things, into my cosmic origin, into, you know, lives that I've had, my archangels, and then giving the home. Like I was just like, wow. So yeah, super amazing. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have all the links below so that you can get a hold of Rebekah. And you also are on YouTube, so make sure you guys go over to Libra Light with Rebekah.
Yeah, I always put out weekly soul guidance every Monday, just because when I was in my corporate job, Monday was the most miserablest day for me. So I thought I'll give people weekly soul guidance every Monday to cheer them up. So if you subscribe to my channel, you just get that. You'll see that automatically come up every Monday.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Rebekah. This was so informational, and I know it's going to excite so many people.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me on. And I'll get you on my YouTube channel next month.
I'd love to. Yes. Well, thank you so much. And like I said, everyone, I'm going to have all the links below. So make sure you head over to her YouTube, subscribe, hit that notification button, and make sure you sign up for her email list because you'll be able to see all the amazing things that she has going on. And maybe you too will win a session. You never know. So thank you all so much. Have an absolutely amazing day, evening, wherever you are in the world. And we will see you soon. Thanks, Rebekah.
Bye, everybody. No problem. See ya.
Bye.